Yo, what's up, everybody? We're here live. Hey, baby. Watch this, Becky, and all of you. Let's watch the news. We're waiting for the State of the Union to start.
Trump's DOJ is withholding 50-plus pages of notes and interviews directly naming Trump as an alleged abuser. And NPR was the first major outlet to confirm that, but I think we also all kind of knew. Because as the Epstein scandals unfolded with the release of files, the redaction issues, the fallout, the open secret here has been that even with all the information in the 3 million released pages, the Trump administration still wasn't telling us everything. And NPR's investigation found dozens of documents apparently cataloged in the DOJ database, but not released publicly. And in their analysis, 3 different sets of serial numbers on the files, NPR found 53 pages of interview documents and notes missing from the public Epstein database. Of course, in addition to that being ethically very concerning, that is despite the Trump administration being required by law to release all the files. And, I give you 3 guesses into what NPR found in these unreleased documents, but you already know. You guessed in it, you used in the context clues. A woman naming Trump as her sexual abuser when she was just a child. Right? And specifically, the woman says that back in 1983, when she was just 13 years old, Epstein introduced her to Trump, who tried forcing her into sex before she fought back and didn't, saying in response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. And that woman was apparently interviewed by the FBI 4 times, but NPR reports that only the first interview makes an appearance in the public database. And one interview that was public, shocker, it was the one that doesn't mention Trump at all. It only discusses her time with Epstein, specifically when she identified him and discussed the way that he abused her as a child. Also, there's another woman's allegations against Trump that NPR noted was removed from the public files after the initial release and republished a few weeks later. In that case, you had Trump's DOJ is withholding 50-plus pages of notes and interviews directly naming Trump as an alleged abuser. And NPR was the first major outlet to confirm that, but I think we also all kind of knew. Because as the Epstein scandals unfolded with the release of files, the redaction issues, the fallout, the open secret here has been that even with all the information in the 3 million released pages, the Trump administration still wasn't telling us everything. And NPR's investigation found dozens of documents apparently cataloged in the DOJ database, but not released publicly. And in their analysis, 3 different sets of serial numbers on the files, NPR found 53 pages of interview documents and notes missing from the public Epstein database. And of course, in addition to that being ethically very concerning, that is despite the Trump administration being required by law to release all the files. I give you 3 guesses into what NPR found in these unreleased documents, but you already know. You guessed in it, you used in the context clues. A woman naming Trump as her sexual abuser when she was just a child. Right? And specifically, the woman says that back in 1983, when she was just 13 years old, Epstein introduced her to Trump, who tried forcing her into sex before she fought back and didn't, saying in response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. And that woman was apparently interviewed by the FBI 4 times, but NPR reports that only the first interview makes an appearance in the public database. And one interview that was public, shocker, it was the one that doesn't mention Trump at all. It only discusses her time with Epstein, specifically when she identified him and discussed the way that he abused her as a child. Also, there's another woman's allegations against Trump that NPR noted was removed from the public files after the initial release and then republished a few weeks later. In that case, you had a woman saying that she was 13 years old when Epstein began abusing her, and at one point, she was taken to Trump's Mar-a-Lago club to meet him, saying that she was incredibly uncomfortable as both men laughed about her being a good one. Now, as you might imagine, Team Trump wasn't exactly receptive to NPR's questions about these omissions. White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson said that Trump has, quote, done more for Epstein's victims than anyone before him. Adding, just as President Trump has said, he's been totally exonerated on anything relating to Epstein. The Democrats very quickly honing on the fact that Trump's DOJ isn't releasing everything the way that they're supposed to. And in fact, Representative Robert Garcia, the ranking member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, he released a statement confirming NPR's reporting. Right? And as a member of Congress, he's got access to the unredacted files, and so you had him saying in a statement, Oversight Democrats can confirm that the DOJ appears to have illegally withheld FBI interviews with this survivor who accused President Trump of heinous crimes. Oversight Democrats will open a parallel investigation into this. Covering up direct evidence of a potential assault by the President of the United States is the most serious possible crime in this White House cover-up. While this is obviously a massive escalation of the Epstein fallout with the President, we have to keep our eyes on this, we should also talk about the other prominent figures, at least here, that are facing some heat. Right, so there you're seeing things like celebrity doctor Peter Attia stepping down from his position with CBS amid scrutiny about his email exchanges with Epstein, with the spokesperson saying he stepped back to ensure his involvement didn't become a distraction from the important work being done at CBS.
Yeah, right.
So he wishes the network and its leadership well.
The important work being done over there at CBS.
UK ambassador to the US being arrested.
CBS is gonna get us to fucking Mars. Yeah. Important work happened there at CBS.
Facing calls to resign from his position as chair of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics over his emails with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. But still, with all that, there is this question of will there be any real accountability, whether it be someone like Casey Wasserman all the way up to Trump. But also, as you have all
what does
right now,
accountable
we have to
mean?
talk about another scandal involving Representative Tony Gonzalez. Because a growing number of politicians are calling for the Republican representative to resign over allegations he had an affair with a former staff member who died by suicide last year. And as far as specifics, that staff member is Regina Santos Aviles. According to text seen by several publications, Gonzalez sent sexually explicit messages to her, asking for sexy images and what her favorite position is. Those messages also appear to continue, even though she told him he was going too far. Also, at some point, she even questioned if Gonzalez had hired her just because he thought she was hot. Other messages show that they agreed to meet up on multiple occasions and spent time together at a vacation cabin. Regina also allegedly texted a colleague to say she, quote, had an affair with our boss. Now, as far as the messages, some of those have been shared by her husband, Adrian, who's spoken out about this both online and through his lawyer. His lawyer also accusing Gonzalez of pressuring Regina into a relationship and coercing her to make requests of a sexual nature. And while Gonzalez denying that he ever had an affair or did anything wrong here, this is notably going down as he's in the middle of a very heated primary. For voters at the polls on March 3rd, he's fighting to keep his seat to represent Texas's 23rd district. And his opponent's actually a political gun YouTuber by the name of Brendan Herrera. In the last primary, Gonzalez only beat him by 400 votes. You know, there was already potential that this was going to be another very close race, and now you got Herrera running ads about this reported affair with the narrator saying,
an affair that puts Republicans at risk of losing the seat and handing control of Congress to the Democrats. That's a risk we can't afford.
And with that, you have Gonzalez slamming Herrera, saying it's shameful that Brendan Herrera is using a disgruntled former staffer to smear her memory and score political points, and adding, I am not going to engage in these personal smears, and instead will remain focused on helping President Trump secure the border and improve the lives of all Texans. Also, you've got Gonzalez accusing Regina's widower and his lawyer of blackmail, saying it's disgusting to see people profit politically and financially off a tragic death. He then also shared a screenshot of an alleged email discussing a $300,000 settlement for an NDA. Then with that, you had the husband shooting back, we have never blackmailed anyone. What we've seen instead is a consistent pattern of evasion, refusal to take accountability, and outright lies to protect your image. Today, though, you still answer to the people you represent, people who deserve the truth, not more deception. And now one of the big things that you're seeing are several Congress members asking Gonzalez to answer to his people by stepping out of the election. Lauren Boebert saying that he should resign, Brandon Gill saying America deserves better, Nancy Mace releasing a lengthy statement saying these text messages are disgusting and inexcusable. Member of Congress harassing his own staffer in the middle of the night. She is gone now. Her son is growing up without his mother. And Tony Gonzalez is campaigning like nothing happened. We have zero tolerance for those who abuse their power over others. Zero. It does not matter what party you are in. Texans deserve a congressman who does not prey on women. And that said, for his part, Speaker Mike Johnson has not called for resignation, but he addressed the issue saying, these are serious accusations and it must be taken seriously, and I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents, and he's in the process of doing that. With him also adding that investigations in both Texas and the Office of Congressional Conduct need to play out. But for that, as of course many want immediate action and justice, considering the woman at the center of all this is gone. So there, it does appear worth noting that while some have tied her suicide to the affair, we do not officially know that for sure. Her husband's lawyer did say that the affair and the consequences of it factored into her death, but also, according to NBC News, Regina and her husband were actually estranged at the time of her death. And you also had other local outlets reporting that she told first responders that her husband was romantically involved with her best friend. But none of that impacts the severity of the core allegations. And actually with that, the House has previously passed a measure forbidding representatives from engaging in sexual relationships with their staff. But also with all this, one of the things you're seeing is the New York Times saying that this incident kind of puts to test the question of, in Epstein-era politics, can a sex scandal actually derail a major political campaign, especially when it deals with the Republican Party? That said, there's clearly pressure for resignation in this case, but one, will Gonzalez actually resign? And two, do voters actually respond by giving him the boot? And well, I guess, one thing's for sure. You will know soon. And then there's more we're going to dive into in just a minute, but let me thank a sponsor real quick and say, I don't want toast. I want toast that makes me feel like I should be wearing linen and owning a cutting board that costs $200. And that's been baked from home, artisanal dough for dough, flexibly. No nicotine box. And there's no response car of it, which means $30.com is teaching, let future you enjoy better bread. Then, diving right back into the news,
ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution. And they were attempting to cloak it in secrecy by demanding that I lie about it.
That is just one part of what ex-ICE agent Ryan Schwenk had to say about ICE in front of a Senate hearing yesterday. Right after years of working for ICE, Schwenk said that he resigned because he just couldn't take what the agency had become anymore.
I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when I joined ICE on August 1st, 2021, as an assistant chief counsel. I followed that oath for 4.5 years, working side by side with ICE officers. And I followed it when I resigned on February 13th, 2026, a little over a week ago, so that I can speak to you today. I am here because I am duty-bound to report the legally required training program at the ICE Academy is deficient, defective, and broken.
According to Schwenk, his experiences included blatant and secret instructions from superiors that trained lower-ranking agents to defy the law and the Constitution.
5 months ago, I was asked to teach the law to new cadets at the ICE Academy in Glencoe, Georgia, where ICE is training its new, inexperienced recruits. On my first day, I received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant.
We've seen and continue to see these kinds of constitutional violations play out as the Trump administration continues to expand ICE presence across the country. And actually, you had Schwenk speaking next to Tiana Gibson Brown, whose husband, Garrison Gibson, was arrested after armed ICE agents beat down their door with a battering ram last month. Garrison's wife speaking about the experience that led up to that point of the hearing, mentioning that the agents ignored Gibson's request to see a warrant.
He asked them if they had a warrant. The officers at the door told Garrison that they did have a warrant, and it was signed by a judge. When Garrison asked to see the warrant, the officers simply ignored his request. We knew no one could just barge into our homes without a warrant.
4 days after Gibson's arrest, a judge ordered his release, ruling that, surprise, surprise, agents violated Gibson's Fourth Amendment rights against unlawful search and seizure. This is just one of the many accounts across the country where immigrants are fearing that even staying behind closed doors can't keep them safe from ICE. And Schwenk even testified that refusing to perpetrate these types of violations would have cost him his job.
On my first day at the academy, I was instructed to read and return a memo in my supervisor's presence, which claimed ICE officers could enter homes without a judicial warrant. Never in my career had I ever received such a blatantly unlawful order, nor one conveyed in such a troubling manner. Incredibly, I was being shown this memo in secret by my supervisor, who made sure that I understood that disobedience would cost me my job.
Now, Gibson and Schwenk, they're mostly addressing Fourth Amendment violations here, but ICE, they reportedly slashed through a litany of constitutional rights, which has left the public wondering if ICE agents are even bound to the Constitution or even laws at all. For free speech and the right to protest, it seems like more
So, yeah,
suggestions
shit's
than
bad.
rights to the ICE agents as we see
Shit's
with
bad, babe.
demonstrators across the country. Also, a free press, I mean,
Shit,
definitely
it's
under
bad.
scrutiny of journalists already being arrested for ICE-related reporting. And that doesn't even get into ICE's more general legal violations like racial profiling, observer harassment, and excessive use of force. And according to Schwenk, these issues are due to DHS gutting ICE's training, including classes that seem almost fundamental to being a law enforcement officer of any level.
For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority.
So this could be part of the answer as to why we continue to see footage of ICE agents openly breaking protocol and often exacerbating existing challenges in their role. But also, why would ICE, who's allegedly meant to save us from dangerous immigrants, and I will say allegedly is doing a lot of work here, want to risk the liability of having untrained agents? Well, Schwenk, he addressed that as well.
Yet, in the name of churning out an endless stream of officers, DHS leadership has dismantled the academic and practical tests that we need to know if cadets can safely and lawfully perform their job. All to satisfy an administration demanding they train thousands of new officers before the end of the year.
We've seen this influx of officers because the administration cannot stop talking about it. At the beginning of this year, you had Homeland Security reporting a historic 120% manpower increase. They claim to have doubled the number of officers from 10,000 to 22,000 after receiving more than 220,000 applications within the last year. But also, as that number has increased, we've seen more evidence of the lack of training that Schwenk testified to. But in the face of everything we're all seeing, DHS has made a statement denying many of the claims that Schwenk made in his testimony. But they claim that ICE officers, quote, get the best of the best training to arrest and remove murderers, rapists, pedophiles, terrorists, and gang members from our communities, saying despite false claims from the media and sanctuary politicians, no training hours have been cut. But then also, later in that same statement, they say, DHS has streamlined training to cut redundancy and incorporate technology advancements without sacrificing basic subject matter content. Which, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say something crazy. Bill, you're wild for this one, they'll say. I think a decent chunk of the common sense American public would generally not want anything cut down or streamlined in training from an agency that can already break down your doors when they see fit. And well, Schwenk, he seems to have the same concerns.
Law enforcement is a deadly serious business. It is not a place for shortcuts.
And overall, it seems like the push for more ICE officers has left the agency struggling to keep up with training, yes, but also accountability. It was more whistleblowers like Schwenk come out. It does make me wonder, what is this all going to look like when the dust settles? I mean, Republicans like Steve Bannon have already sounded off about their concerns.
If we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Also, following Alex Brady's murder, we saw a seemingly tense moment between Kristi Noem and Greg Padino. The two seemed to start pointing fingers as soon as the blowback from the shooting started, and both seemed to rest on the fact that they've simply been following orders from the president in their respective positions, though of course Padino has now been relieved. Though also, I have to note famously, there was another group of law enforcement officers who were, quote, just following orders, and that didn't pan out so well for them. So, with ex-ICE whistleblowers pointing fingers at weak training standards, volatile agents with seemingly few legal limits, and Republican leadership that won't make the appropriate changes, it seems like there's definitely legal questions to consider here. While the president himself may have skirted the law so far, we've also seen real-time examples over the last few years that he's going to look out for number one. So that luck, it may not go for everyone else. For Trump, he looks out for Trump, but hey, time will tell. Right then, there's even more we've got to dive into, but first, let me have a minute and thank the sponsor to say, for residents that matters. The company just today, mental health is an electrical pop here, so especially if you're to trust moms. Diving right back into the news, we need to talk about Candace Owens versus Erica Kirk. Because Candace just released a trailer for a new series that she's releasing that could just further blow up the MAGA base. It's called The Bride of Charlie, and at least based on what she shared, it is incredibly critical of Erica's response to Charlie's death. It even appears to suggest that she may have had some level of involvement in his murder. The trailer includes clips of Erica alongside commentary questioning her.
Erica Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century merch hat.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in.
Looking around, this pissed off a ton of people, especially conservatives. People saying things like, there is something deeply broken in someone who would attack a grieving widow for profit. We are called to defend widows. Scripture is clear on that, and Charlie would have stood for it. Meghan McCain calling Candace pure, unadulterated fucking evil, saying who in God's name would put a woman whose husband was brutally assassinated in front of this entire world through this? Ben Shapiro even putting out a video going after the series saying,
this is the stuff that Candace Owens has been doing. Because Candace Owens is a true vampire when it comes to conservatism and the conservative movement. She finds prominent people, and then she grifts off of them, and then she does more grifting off of them, and then she grifts them until she's done grifting them, and then she moves on to the next thing she can grift off of. And yes, Erica Kirk absolutely should sue the living hell out of Candace Owens for this sort of stuff. She is making money off the murder of Charlie Kirk by literally implicating his widow and everyone else at TPUSA in that murder.
Now, for some context here, in case you're stumbling across this video, Candace is an incredibly popular conservative podcaster, and she's been discussing Charlie's murder and talking about conspiracies with it for months. Right? Those theories, they cause major rifts, and they're one of the many divisions at the center of the so-called MAGA civil war. And so understand, even though there is backlash, people who have been following Candace along, who land on her side of these right-wing media battles, they are pumped for this series. We just take one look through her comments section. Top comments quoting Charlie Kirk saying, you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. People saying this episode is going to be heard around the world like a battle cry. But again, that's as you have people pushing back against Candace and the excitement around the series. And among those pushing back, you had conservative podcaster Alex Clark, who is ties to CPUSA, writing, I've never been more certain of anything in my life than this. Anyone refusing to call out Candace while claiming to be close with Charlie is one of the biggest frauds in the movement and probably has the most dirt to hide. They let Erica suffer to protect themselves. God will deal with all of them. But as far as what happens next, the series debuts tomorrow. So very soon, we'll see what kind of traction it gets and how much backlash it gets from the Turning Point faction of the right. But then, finally today, we need to talk about Trump and AI. Nearly 6 in 10 Americans do not trust AI. 8 in 10, they're concerned that it could pose a threat to humanity, and 80% say that the government should have rules for AI safety, even if it slows development. And that includes 79% of Republicans. So Trump has gone balls to the walls all in on AI, speeding up development and reversing Biden's regulations. So also, maybe that's not surprising given the president's dealings, and tech companies spending a record $109 million lobbying last year. Meta alone launched a $65 million election push to boost AI-friendly candidates. Now with all that, as far as some of the specific concerns, there's definitely a lot of concern around jobs. So you've got polling showing that 2/3 of Americans think AI is going to steal jobs. When you look at the economy, more Americans think that AI's impact is going to be negative there. And then beyond that, there are increasing concerns about energy, land use, and environmental impact of the resource-intensive data centers that are necessary to power AI. And that opposition has actually turned into real, tangible things. But according to Data Center Watch, $162 billion in data center projects that have been blocked or delayed since 2023. And then, of course, there's a lot of worrying around the kids. Like one firm, they looked at data from women 50 and older, which is a very high turnout voter group that's going to probably mean a lot in the midterm. And they found that 90% of them are concerned about the lack of national AI standards to protect kids. Then, as far as the kids themselves, that's a whole different situation. Numerous polls there have showed that there are major generational gaps for AI support and trust. For younger Americans, they're much more likely to use and support these products or have more optimistic outlooks as to how they're going to impact the future. In fact, a new study that was released just today, it showed that more than half of all U.S. teens use AI chatbots, including nearly a third who use them daily.
Just as a side note, that is a topic I want to do a deep dive on. We'll do that
somewhat soon. You know, one wonders with all this, will we see some legislation for regulation? Because it turns out, while there is an age gap, this is actually a surprisingly bipartisan issue. When it comes to the belief that the government should have rules for AI safety and data security, 88% of Democrats favor those policies, but so do 79% of Republicans and independents. At least at the state level, it seems like politicians are listening. Numerous states have proposed or enacted a variety of different laws attempting to regulate various aspects of AI. In fact, reportedly at the Governors Association's recent annual meeting, you have leaders across the political spectrum saying that their voters are very worried about AI. But again, despite the widespread bipartisan concerns, Trump has gone all in. They're repeatedly touting the technology and taking enormous investments in the products. Despite the polling showing that Americans want to slow down and be safe, Trump's done the exact opposite, taking numerous steps to speed up development while also pushing mass deregulation and reversing the limited checks that the Biden administration put in place. And all the while, you have all this tech money, all this pro-AI money getting thrown into politics. As far as if this is going to be like a top 3 mover regarding which way people vote or if people go out to vote, we'll see in the midterms. For me, and this is more of a feels like me trying to judge society and people, despite how big of an impact all of this is going to have on our futures and abilities and prospects, I don't think that enough people are going to move on this situation until it's too late. You know, whether you think I'm being a cynic there or a realist there, or this is actually just an overblown situation, I'd love to hear your thoughts there in those comments down below. But that, my friends, you beautiful bastards, is the end of today's show. But it may not be done with me yet, because not only are you, yes, a click away from watching last night's Bill Franco show if you missed it, tonight, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll be streaming Trump's State of the Union. So, you know, you can grab yourself a drink, a bite, do some stretches, make sure you don't pull something rolling your eyes. We'll get through it and break it down together. I love your faces, and I'll see you then, or tomorrow.
That's that.
Today, we're going...
It's already pretty max headroom, don't you think?
Netrunners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid. While over in Westbrook, trauma teams scraping cyber-cycle victims off the pavement.
See? Honestly, I feel like she's feeling better since we brought her back from the vet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the shot helped, but also I think she probably felt relieved by the doctor too. Yeah, she really didn't enjoy having something up her butt. There's not a block. I made that little area that I cut out. I showed you that. Wait, well, what's confusing here? I showed you on camera what I did. Told you, the president's gonna talk. Yeah. Half the Democrats aren't showing up, babe. Oh, yeah. We're having a big, uncertain future party for the state of the country. Who knows what future's in store for the state of America? All I know is stay tuned, brothers and sisters. Stay tuned.
Showbo. Ring a bell? Guy's a fucking psychopath. Records himself torturing joy toys and sells that shit to like-minded scumbags. The mods finally tracked him down. This is your chance to give this fucker what he deserves and earn a little scratch while you're at it. Go on this sicko attached.
understand me. I don't mind unexpected guests, but you must recognize that when a man lives alone in the middle of the desert, he has the right to ask uncomfortable questions. The boy did make eye contact, glancing nervously at his window, as if expecting to be shot on the spot and armada drones causing straight across the night sky. I'm running away, he muttered after a moment of hesitation. From the Green Phantom. He's been following me since Yellow Creek. The old man didn't move a muscle, save for a twitch in the corner of his mouth, revealing that he knew something more than he cared to admit. You have nothing to fear, he said softly. The Green Phantom only comes to the worst of criminals. If you hold regret in your heart, he'll forgive you. He'll offer you a second chance. The boy's anxious to meet her suddenly turned to her rebellious grin. I regret nothing, and you, old man, you don't have the faintest clue of what you're prattling about. You're wrong, but I've also met the Phantom once before. It turned to put no man's eyes widen as he surprised a brief moment. It seemed as if there was a question on the tips of his lips, but he refused to ask. It's late. You should sleep. You're exhausted and need to gather your strength before you continue running. If that's what you choose to do. My home is open to you for the night. The boy uttered no thanks. Without a word, he stood and entered a small, dark bedroom where his host had prepared a bed. To find his way, he switched on his infrared and immediately froze in place. There was a body lying in the bed. He edged closer when he discerned shape, a pool of cooling blood. Withered hands contorted unnatural angles, a vacant, dead eyes of an old man he had only just been talking to in the other room. And suddenly the walls began to emanate from the otherworldly glow. The boy could sense a figure into the bedroom. If you regret nothing, hissed the cold, emotionless voice, then why do you flee? Then black. The world of the young nomad plunged into darkness. was kicking so much ass there. That is really frustrating. Really, it's the radio that's pissed me off more than anything, so I'm going to see if I can find a way to fix that. Let's do that live here on stream. Well, it's about to start. Yeah. It's DeFranco. He's about to cover it.
Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, or rather DeFranco Live. We're going to be watching, covering, maybe breaking down the State of the Union tonight. It's going to be one to watch. Also, for those, I saw some of the chatter before we were starting. Some people were saying can't wait for the audio to be messed up. I tested the audio before we went live over on Twitch in secret. There were me and 300 sneaky boys making sure that everything was on the rails for tonight, so that we could all get through this together. We're gonna see what's happening. But hello to the chat. I'm gonna be looking through the chat here. Let's see. I have it right in front of me, so I can make direct eye contact with you. Thank you. Teleprompter that's just on the chat. We say, chat moving so fast no one will ever know. I think Phil's kind of cute though. Thank you for having low standards. I thrive on low standards. I'm just joking, homie. Don't lie. It's okay. It's okay. We all got a drink in us. We're all saying stuff. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is foreshadowing. We're all saying stuff that maybe we don't agree with. That we didn't mean. We'll see. But guys, hello. There's going to be a lot that we're going to need to break down tonight. I've seen a lot of chatter of people like what they think is going to be talked about. Obviously, the economy is going to come up. I'm interested to see how Trump's going to be talking about the tariff ruling, because obviously the Supreme Court justice is going to be there front row. Wonder if he's going to have the same energy where he's saying, they're fools, that he's disappointed in them. We'll see. I see a lot of people talking about the Dow.
like we talked about on the Crashing Out podcast, myself and Alex Perlman, crime is real again because the Dow's under 50,000. So Pam Bondi has to care about all the people that she's definitely not protecting, all the elites. The economy and tariffs most likely coming up. Iran, I imagine, is going to be would you expect a big part of it, a little part of it? I believe that it is going to come up. Some people have even gone as far as to say they think that he's going to announce that we're at war with Iran, which the only like he's just going to hold up his phone. He's like, check this out. It's just a live stream of the missile. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Which Dow? The Dow Jones. Immigration and DHS. I think he's going to talk about how he crushed it on immigration. How those people that died definitely, it all evens out in the shuffle. Maybe he'll say. Where he kind of left off with Alex Preddy, Renee Good was saying that there were no angels, but it shouldn't have happened. And then he just realized that it was looking really bad. So we'll see. I feel like that's gonna come up again as we get closer. Also, 4th anniversary of Russia's pointless war with Ukraine. So I don't know if that'll come up because obviously that's not a winner. He campaigned on that being something that he'd end on day one. Obviously did not happen. But yeah, and then as far as what we were looking at, as far as standout guests, as far as Trump's guests, he's got Erica Kirk there, the U.S. men's hockey team. There's a few other guests. Let's see. Then we have Democratic guests, and there we have I believe it's 12 plus Epstein survivors. We have some Minneapolis families. There's a number of Democrats that are boycotting, and then we'll see. Depending on how long this thing goes. Some people have been saying it's going to go for 2 hours. Some people saying it's going to go for 3 hours. But we have Abigail Spanberger who's going to have the Dem response afterwards. I got coffee. Because I don't know how long this thing's going.
You got a visitor, Dickie.
Somewhere. Who's that?
But.
Give her a love.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's Lucy.
Hello,
you in my room,
bastard.
I just invited you in.
I don't schedule
You're afraid of You're afraid of me.
Feels like work.
You're terrified of me, Lucy.
I love it. Yeah, I know. So hey, you stay here as long as you can handle it.
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of
State of
things you're
America
gonna
with me.
have if you're watching this.
We'll watch the country burn down, Lily. Me and you are together. 1,000 years. Lono and Lily.
Oh my God, the nightmares you might have. Right now, Daisy and I get set up. We're gonna see what's what. How are we doing, chat? Well, to the chat. Not only how are we doing, and I have it on slow mode, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat reasonable. How are we doing, and where are you watching from tonight? Where are you watching from? Let's see. How am I liking Atlanta so far? Do I miss Florida? A lot of people talking about my location. I don't miss Florida, but I visit now and then. I visit it enough to not miss it. You guys are from all over. I'm seeing this chat going crazy. We got some Team Canada, Colorado, Ohio, Washington County, Cali. Much love to Cali.
Long Island, New York.
Oh wait, no, I'm not visiting Cali. I'm visiting Texas soon. I'm gonna be traveling a little bit more than usual. We got a few things coming up. I'm gonna be in New York for On Air Fest, a breakfast events thing on Thursday with myself and Alex Perlman. That's gonna be exciting. I'm going to be at South by Southwest for, I think, a day. I'm trying to say yes to more things. I'm trying to not just say no, even though it's my favorite 2 letters. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Kentucky, Nebraska. No, not Nebraska. Nebraska, I see. Wasn't the last feature live stream shockingly short? I think the last thing we streamed was the Venezuela announcement, which he was late for, and then it wasn't the longest, if I don't remember, or if I remember correctly, but we'll see. Let's see. You're from Alex's area originally. Alex has been, I don't know what he's talking about. Alex has been so angry. He's been so angry about this, I was like, I I walk on eggshells a little bit when it's snowing near Alex, because he gets angry. Someone said, oh wait. I think someone said, oh, Cold Time said, did you make a bingo card? So I didn't, but 1 second. I didn't make a bingo card, but someone made one for us. Now, if there are other ones, I say, embrace them. Let's see. But here we go. Someone made this. We got, okay, so the bingo card here is border crisis, Mitch McConnell, third term, communism, Biden, terrorism. At G, they put trans people are the root of evil. That is a very specific line. Trump might say trans for everyone. I don't know if he's going to say this specific sentence. A guess, the radical left, Greenland. Ooh, Greenland's probably going to pop up, right? No talent insert talk show host. The Big Beautiful Bill. Tariffs, America First. How great is ICE? Oh, so it's a call? How great is ICE? Is that one of those? And they put the mic out. Bad Bunny. Melania. That beautiful. I can't do the voice. I'll leave that to Alex. Shit's pants. I don't know if B, is it audibly? Does it have to be audibly, I guess is the big question. Greatest economy in history, I can see that. Saving elections, USA women's hockey team, make America great again. Okay, some of these are like a shoe-in. Other ones, I don't know. Oh, also, hello. Sorry, I've been missing these super chats. So the super chats, I think, pop up on the screen if they are 20 or more, but then I have the ability to see them right here at a short screen. So let's see. Shablam, thank you for the 5. Phil, I just want to thank you for getting me through my drives at work. It truly helps me stay informed right now. Actually, let me also while I do these, just so you can see what is happening, so you know you're not missing anything. Right, just a lot of handshaking. Atlanta, Georgia, your neck of the woods. Have you become one of the insane drivers yet? Freak out, no. But also, I haven't been around any of the really bad drivers yet. Knock on wood. I gotta drive a little tomorrow, but hopefully not. If this live stream goes well, we consider doing a live stream with Alex Perlman in the near future. Man, you and everyone else are trying to get Alex and I to do more. Right now, we're happy with the one podcast a week we're crashing out, and we've been in talks. I don't want to say any places or dates yet, but probably going to be able to start doing some live events, and just maybe, there's going to be a live event in the Northeast for the next few months for a few hundred people. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, wait. There's the chat. Chat broke for a minute. So just you guys are talking too fast. The chat got overwhelmed. Let's see, I want to hear this real quick.
Yeah. There's something, that looks like the press corps. It's 60.
No, we're still good. Alright, so let's see, we got the pant rat, thank you for the $10, saying been watching some SourceFed. Should I have been watching at 11? Maybe not. Just trolled. Wow, okay, that's too much. That's too much. Phil, any thoughts? Steel City, thank you for the $20. Any thoughts on doing, let me see. Where are you, Alert Box? Oh, there they are, just hard to see. Any thoughts on doing a DeFranco Live? No, but a Crashing Out Live, absolutely. Absolutely. When we did the DeFranco Lives, they were kind of like, just kind of Q&As, whereas I'd like to do a show. And, I can have a Q&A, but I'd like to have, do a Q&A, I guess. Specifically, like someone that's local. But yeah, let's see. We got, Flipper 1654. Thank you for the $20. What are your thoughts on the Georgia's governor's race? How do you feel about Ruwa Rahman? I've been slowly familiarizing myself more and more. I have some feelings right now. I wanna possibly interview at least 2 of the people that are running. I don't know if I want to say it just yet, but yeah, I am interested in the race, and I think especially as we start getting, we were already thinking as we get closer to the midterms, we'll start having guests on, But also I feel like going into the primaries we should have people on, because a lot of the people that are involved at the primary level in a lot of places, they're just the people that are like super aggressive about it, and I mean aggressive in a good way, like very involved, but also elections are decided by people that are not just that, and so I want to possibly help. Let's see. Caster Aliens, thank you for the 5. Love your face too. Love you. Not even your face, just you as a person. The archive says, do you get audio recordings on the text line? The text line is weird about it. I think it's it sometimes limits things to make sure that people aren't just like sending me crazy shit. But if it is text, I get it for sure. Now, do I see every single one? No, it's just because there's like 60,000 people on that line. But yeah, let's see. Leo Man says, thank you for slogging through this. I mean, we'll see what's happening. Here, wait, let's
Backers, and she's viewed as a really strong candidate for Republicans.
Behind Ted Cruz there, I think I saw the chaplain.
Yes.
Admiral Barry Black. Barry Black.
That's right. Yep. Longtime chaplain of the Senate.
Opens with a prayer.
Now, as far as what this is going to be, can I get some guesses? Actually, I feel like I need to throw this up. Let's see. Let's set up a poll. Okay, let's add options. How long is the State of the Union going to be? We're going to say 100 plus minutes. Oh wait. 120 plus minutes? Oh no, am I only gonna be able to do, okay. 140 plus minutes? Or finally, 160 plus minutes. Let's start that poll. Okay, and if you want to vote in the poll, it is in the chat. We'll see where people think they're gonna land. Someone said, okay, wait, someone said, I didn't even do under 100. Oh man, I missed out on this. Okay, we'll see what the results are. If it's heavy at the 100 plus, we'll see if, now see, this is why I put it high. I'm seeing, 120 plus is the leader right now. See, here's the problem. Here's one of the problems with this. It's not the most important thing. What are they? Oh, I was like, are they real? Is she being serious? Oh, it's just some joke. People are putting things out online where they're saying, oh, this source says it's going to be 2 hours. Another source said that it's going to be 3 hours. We have to kind of take a lot of that with a grain of salt, because so many people are out there trying to manipulate the betting markets. Because if you look out there, there's betting markets on things that are being said, how long this is going to be, and it feels like everyone is like, either the rig is in, or everyone's trying to manipulate it, or there's just all this bullshit going on, and so it's like you never know what you can count on. Here, I'm going to hit and poll. Let's see what our results are. Okay, we have 120 plus at 33%, 100 plus at 30%. Okay, so how about this? The second one is there's some people that have it on the low end. We're going to do under 100, under or over 100.
To the second term.
Oh.
The sixth address overall to a joint session of
Wrong
Congress.
computer. That scared the shit out of me. I was like, wait.
Standing with the Republican John Curtis.
Wrong keyboard. Die. I was like, I'm being attacked. All right. Over or under 100 minutes. I'm so stupid. Under, over. Let's see. He's being hacked. Jabrico's being hacked. He doesn't know what's happening. Oh man. Let me see. No, I'm not gonna remove that. That's fine. Show us the desktop. Oh god, I never use this computer. This is one of those desktops that has like 100,000 1,000 files scattered across it. Let's see. When are we starting? Well, most likely we're expecting Trump to walk in at 9. If he actually does, we'll see. As we kind of learned from the last few live streams, he kind of just fucking, he hops in when he hops in. He hops in when he hops in. Leaves him waiting. Very Trump thing. Let's see. We have Frank Holland. Thank you for the $20, my friend. I feel like the people that are best suited for politics and leadership have no interest in that responsibility and power. How do we force those people to lead us? Dude, I don't know how you force somebody. I don't know how you force someone into one of the shittiest jobs out there. There's a lot of, especially if you don't want it, it's a shitty job. If you're like, I want to do it, you kind of have that mindset, I imagine. A decent chunk of you have to. But to just be dealing with, half the country hates you. with every fiber of their being. That's rough. I mean, I don't know. I think you have to, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you're in a place where, I don't know, this last election and the shit that's happened didn't inspire you to run, I don't know how you get that person to do it. I mean, maybe there's some people that aren't running because, it feels like scary times or possibly violent things could go down. But, you have to be kind of built for the moment and go for it. So I don't know. I don't know how you convince someone. I feel like, if anything, yeah, I don't know. Let's see, Drive, thank you for the 20. Just talking about food. Saying, I could only find dill pickle flavored corn nuts and not chili picante. Okay, let me move. I'm gonna move the, there we go. I'm gonna move the alerts so they're higher so I can actually read them. I can only find kickin' dill pickle flavored corn nuts and not chili picante, so this is already starting out rough. It's gonna be a long night, my friend. I got different treats for myself right now. I got ready to eat crepinis. You can eat them cold, you can eat them hot. They're vanilla protein pancakes. They're made with cottage cheese and egg whites. I feel like such a loser explaining that. And then, I got a little cheese, a little meat. Oh wait, here we go.
Mr. Cotton, the senator from West Virginia, Mrs. Capito, the senator from
my meat is more important. Meat, cheese, this feels fancy, even though it's all packaged. So that's where I'm sitting right now. Is that an ad? No. Actually, if you want an ad, I'm not supposed to announce this till tomorrow, but I just saw someone made it live. You know how all of you are making the Dow is over 50,000 jokes? You know how that's happening? Right now, over at beautifulbastard.com, we're launching 2 shirts for Crashing Out. This is a designer we've worked with. He's great. You might have seen him on Instagram. He's worked for Beautiful Bastard before. We have the almost crashed out until I remember the Dow is over 50,000. We're going to be officially announcing these tomorrow. They're technically available right now at beautifulbastard.com. I love this. I fucking love this. And then there's kind of a more simplistic Stay Angry. Anyway, that's it. You said sponsor, I said, oh. Okay, we're supposed to be 7 minutes away. Wait, here we go. Oh, so loud. Who's walking through? You just bought 500,000 or 500 of those? Thank you. Sticker versions would be good. I get the demand for stickers. I hate having to stock stickers. It sounds so silly. It messes with quantity counts. JA2032, thank you for the $10. Have you seen the Texas Dem primary turnout? We're seeing Dem turnout in Texas outpace Republican primary turnout by 100,000 votes. How do you think? Old Twitch friend, astrophysicist. Good to see you. Whatchamacallit? I've seen the turnout. I'm very interested to see who wins the Dem primary. There's been a lot of fighting. I've been watching. I've been watching that go down. I feel like a lot of people are alienating a lot of people, at least in the commentary space on it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, if there's a time to do it, I guess it's now. Hey! You're taking me out of context. When I said I got a little meat, I was talking about this. Okay? Don't be saying crazy stuff. Oh my God, guys! They're not popping up on screen. I get alerts when people buy shirts. Holy shit! You guys weren't joking. So many of you just went and bought those shirts. Anyway, thank you for that. I'll plug it again when we're all exhausted at midnight. Let's see. Mad Scientist, thank you for the 20, my friend. Love your face. Phil, you can change mankind if you ran for POTUS and won. America needs to be filled in. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh, the Supreme Court justices. Oh, okay. I was like, that's not a
There you go, folks. The Dow being over 55 does not move Loba. Loba's not moved by the Dow being over 50,000.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I want to see my drinking buddy, Brett. There's my boy, Brett. He loves beer. He loves beer.
I got cheese and meat, too.
And Trump tariffs, apparently. Loves beer and Trump tariffs.
I have Lily cheese right next to me.
Get out of the shot. Get out of the shot.
What?
Also, really quick, I haven't been checking. Hello to the about 18,000 people watching live. I think we're in for a ride. Also, thanks for joining me. Usually, when we do the live streams, I send out a text right as we launch. Can't do it because you're like not supposed to text after 8 p.m. It's quiet hours, and I'm not always able to do it by time zone. So thank you. Oh, what's the over under on? Thank you for the $5 first. But what's the over under on Trump mentioning bills me? Zero. Although who knows? When you go to those markets, isn't there like one where 4% of people are betting on Jesus returning by 2027? You know, it's so funny because it's like that market gets manipulated by secondary markets that bet on if that percentage is going to hit 5% or not. So it's just all manipulation, and it's like a way to get people to just park money, like just until 2027. So dumb. Yeah, I can't. I don't see the names right here. Stuff. I just want to say thank you. Well, I see some. Oh, Jeff, Oklahoma, Aiden, Krista Farley. I'm gonna tell Alex that you guys are buying this. He's gonna be so pumped. He was like, I don't know if people are gonna get it. I was like, I don't know if people are gonna get it. Let's see. We have Sean Ponikin saying, thank you for the 20, by the way. Saying, long-time listener, first time calling. Just saying, you're my go-to. What was I? Sorry, I'm colder. You're my go-to for news and in the UP of Michigan. So happy to be getting information from you. Much love to you, Sean. Much love. Much love. Gosh, I'm trying to see the super chats, but now they're getting flooded with all the people buying clothes. I can't see. Do you think he'll congratulate Kim on his victory in the DPRK? Carmine Toaster, thank you for the 5, saying PSA fellow Texans, please vote. A big amount of other items are on the bracket other than senators and politicians. Yeah, man, there's a lot of elections. Or, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir of my fucking audience. I'm just like, vote and everything. Anything you have a chance to have an impact on, do it. Because just so many people don't. Just so many people don't. I think, it's just so important. We got Crazy Druid, thank you for the 20, saying, yo up, I'm doing homework for LSSU right now. Youpers. You guys might as well be talking in hieroglyphics. I don't know what you're talking about. But I appreciate you. I love your face. There's a... Whenever I look at... Whenever I look at the Trump kids, or like anyone in that orbit, remember when there was that period of time where people would be doing op-eds and they're like, Barron, he's secretly part of the resistance. Melania, she's secretly part of the resistance. And then they just slowly reveal themselves to just be like fully on board. It's like, oh, okay. People are just like telling themselves stories. And don't worry, I have the audio on the stream a little lower before, oh, okay, here's where we start seeing, is everything on time? Also, when he does start speaking, a lot of the time I'll largely be quiet, and then every now and then interact with the chat, do polls, stuff like that. Oh no, okay, President's Cabinet, little applause, applause, applause. I gotta look on the other computer. Is there, there's counter events to this, yeah? I feel like Midas Touch is doing something. I've never talked to those guys. And I watch a few people that do stuff with them. Alright, there's Marco Rubio. The man with a million jobs. What is this? Why is it spinning my way? Sorry. I'm just talking to myself like a fucking crazy person. Oh wow! Wow!
Nikki, give her some love. Pet her.
Midas
Hey, you want
Touch
some cheese?
with their boycott of that.
No cheese. Come here. You want cheese? No cheese.
158,000. It says that they lost.
Lily.
It's weird, but.
Well, I can't bet her. She doesn't come over here. Well, you want cheese?
Rilo said, look at all those shitty people in our lives. We'll see. Thank you to everyone that's buying those shirts over at beautifulbastard.com. Here, I'm going to switch it over since we just got a bunch of people. We got the Stay Angry ones. And then, of course, what I think is going to be the winner. I like it in long sleeve, I think, the most. Specifically in white or black. You know, in my older age, I've definitely, I wear lighter colors the most, but still black and navy blue. They're the ones that sell the best. Anyway, that's last plug before we watch. Let's see, we got Ashley Vestal, thank you for the 20, saying, my 9th grade American history teacher played your show every day and we would debate the topics. I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, said I've been watching ever since. Ashley, please tell me that your teacher was making sure it was on, like, the OK episodes. Because if this is a long time ago, the Philip DeFranco show used to cover some questionable things. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm a little nervous. Let's see. Alexia says, do we think he may go off script on a sundown tangent? I would put the odds at 98.5% that he's gonna riff. There's no way he doesn't, right? I feel like this is just gonna be him saying misleading things or lies. And here's the thing, this is my bias, this is my cynicism. I think it's misleading things, lies, and then he's gonna try and create gotcha moments, right? He's gonna try and create a moment. Are people are the Dems all gonna stand up for the men's hockey team? And maybe around that, he's going to say something about Kash Patel that makes them question if they can stand up. And what about, I feel like he's going to probably bring up Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk's in attendance. That's going to probably create a moment. It's a big thing. This happens in politics all the time, but especially with the Trump admin and the current state of politics. It's all about clipping. It's all about trying to find those clips. So that's really, I think, what we're going to be expecting. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, you guys. Let's see. You guys used to be questionable. I think. Let's see. Martina says, please don't stop talking unless I hear Agent Orange, the better. I don't want. We'll find the flow. We'll find the flow. I mean, some of the stuff that we can walk through, right, is, let's look, on tariffs, right? I think he's going to talk about how much money was made through the tariffs. He might take a shot at the Supreme Court, which would be a wild moment. If he does, what words does he use? How direct is it? I think he's probably going to use language that doesn't acknowledge the fact that U.S. importers are the ones that are paying the tariffs. So I think that's a big one. I'm going to unmute this real quick. I think he's going to talk about the economy being the best ever, which if you were at the top 10% of the U.S. economy, I bet it feels that way. We were talking about it when people were first coming in. The top, being the best. I'd have to double check to just say it definitively, but I am very sure it is that or very close to it. Even that is a bit misleading because the top 1% disproportionately own things. But if you are in the top 10%, you are experiencing a very different U.S. economy than the bottom 50%, right? And so, right, because people that fucking ex-YouTubers that I know that have retired that are like, I got more money than ever. Yeah, because you had it plugged into the fucking stock market for 10 years, okay? You make money differently than someone that's going paycheck to paycheck. Oh wait, here we go. Nope, okay, I thought it was. Oh, Christy, Gnome, hide your dogs. Hide your dogs. He might, let's see, in regards to tariffs, we might hear Trump say that nothing's changed because he, immediately put in the 15% tariff, although there's a thing that's confusing about the 10-15%. It was initially 10, then 15. When it got implemented, some people were saying it was still 10. But that is across the board, and some of the places had tariffs that were much higher comparatively to other places, so we'll see what happens there. And then him saying my tax cuts are helping working families. I think if you talk to a lot of working families right now, they wouldn't say he's crushing it there. But also, and this is I think where the polling really needs to be eye-opening for a lot of Dems, a lot of the polling shows that people are like, I was also fucked under Biden. So if you're going to talk about feelings and what people are saying, then you have to acknowledge that as well. Then, of course, like we were talking about, he's probably going to talk about Iran. I wonder if he's going to say something along the lines of Iran wants to make a deal more than I do, because a lot of the U.S. demands for Iran, they're kind of like total strategic surrender. So I don't know what is going to happen other than I think that there are going to be military strikes at some point. It's just a question of if it's before or after the time frame that Trump's laid out. He has moved too many assets, I think, for him being him, to not use those. Could be wrong, though. That's what happens when you start getting into the prediction world. Let's see. Immigration and DHS. I think he's going to still try and say that he's crushing it on immigration, even though, according to polls, he's underwater on immigration now. Oh, here we go.
President of the United States.
So we're gonna see a lot of handshaking. I'll lower it a little bit for right now. Oh, the chat starts filling with booze. The chat, people are finding their tomato emojis. Let's see. And then we talked about it a little bit. Ukraine might pop up, but we'll see. That one, I mean, it's the 4-year anniversary, but I don't think he's going to want to highlight that. So it's a no, sir. They're saying blue urns. Blue urns. His hair. Don't talk about the emperor's clothing or hair. It's perfect. The emperor's clothing is perfect. Let's see. Watching some of the Republicans, I feel like I need to go back and watch Biden's address because these guys are like fangirls. Look at that. He's wearing, you see that guy? He's wearing his Trump was right about everything hat. God. No one has shame anymore. No one has shame anymore. Alright, here we go. We're gonna let him fist bump. I'm gonna look through the super chats that have been popping up. Bunch of sycophantic losers. Getting some messages from people going, thing. Hey, Lil Taki? Is that what it is? Thank you for gifting 10 member subs. That's awesome. I forgot at the bottom of the chat you can do that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank the 9 people you just gave memberships to. Love your face. Appreciate you. Cat Kitty Cat. Thank you for the 10 saying, will he fall asleep? He's not gonna fall asleep. He's good. They give him the go-go juice, I think, before the big speeches. They say, wait, what does that sign say? Oh, that guy's holding up a sign that says black people aren't apes. Ooh. Guys, did he tweet out that racist video? Yes. Did they then try to blame an intern? But then Trump said a thing about how he actually was the one that told him to post the video? Yes. Is it going to impact his voting base? No. Doesn't mean you don't bring it up. Just saying. Like when I saw there were like some old school Republicans that were like, he just lost the midterms because of this. I was like, have you not existed in the past decade? Here we go. Let's go back to it. Oh wow! I've actually, you know what? I'm not on Twitter a bunch. I don't know if that's gone around. I saw someone call him Meta Mussolini. Also, thank you Supernova for becoming a member. Raptor, thank you for becoming a member. Oh my gosh, there's so many people buying shirts and super chats. I appreciate you. Peter, thank you. DG Brown, thank you. Zeus, thank you. There's too many names to mention. I appreciate you. I know I'm missing a number of people, but we are gonna be getting together. Oh my gosh. Romer, you've been a follower since the Shark Tooth Necklace days. I don't know how I haven't scared you away yet. I appreciate you. Okay, we are live. We're making sure we're on feed. OG Humorbot, thank you for $10. February is, oh wait. I had to hear if it was a USA chanter 4 more years. Here we go.
An honor, Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second Lady of the United States.
It's not Erica Kirk yet.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Do not believe your eyes and ears, America. It's great. It's all good. It's all great. I forgot all this.
35 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth, and we've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
And we're gonna celebrate it by watching John Jones knock out 4 children with blind knees.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
Oh, man. I can say it with dignity, guys. Can't say it loud with dignity. I can say this one.
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today our border is secure.
When in doubt, chant.
Today our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
You want volume up? You got it.
After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States. But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country.
This is an area that's interesting, because in the right wing, there's a big fight over things like H-1B visas, which I think is something that's gonna potentially
The flow
do
of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years. In 1900, in fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born. Substantially before he was born. It's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Trying to see, people are asking if Al Green got kicked out.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly, a disaster. Is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
Did he say where? I was looking at the Al Green news. Did he say where they've seen this price?
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
Yeah, so that's the video from that TikTok.
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest.
The hottest. A smoke show of the country. Also, people were asking what's the longest speeches. In 2025, Trump went up for 100 minutes.
Thousands of new businesses are forming in factories, plants, and laboratories are being built. We have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. Getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Our new friend and partner, Venezuela, we kicked their door in, took the guy running the place. His number 2, we're fine with her. She's great.
American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill. More Americans are working today than at any time in the history